Mudahar is a fraud. He's a fake. He's a phony jabroni, okay? He's not an engineer, as we all thought. He has lied to us for over 10 years, and you all believed him. Now you will pay the ultimate price.
Engineer. I'm a goddamn engineer. I'm an engineer.
I'm a fucking engineer. I'm an engineer.
I'm only an engineer. Oh, I'm an engineer.
I'm an engineer. I'm just an engineer.
I'm an engineer.
I'm just a fucking engineer.
I'm a goddamn engineer.
I'm a fucking engineer.
I'm an engineer. I'm an engineer. As an engineer, being an engineer, I don't have to tell you as an engineer. I'm just a dumb engineer as an engineer. My engineer asked, but as an engineer, so I'm just a fucking dumb fucking engineer. Like I can tell her, like I'm an engineer, but I'm an engineer. As an engineer, I'm an engineer. As somebody that is an engineer, as an engineer. I'm saying I'm the number one engineer as an engineer. As an engineer. All right, as an engineer, I'm just an engineer. Speaking as somebody that is an engineer, I'm an engineer.
I'm an engineer.
So Mutahar made a response video, basically kind of having this cheesy tone, trying to be cheeky, pretending to not take it seriously. Everybody knows that he was scared shitless. That's why he hasn't uploaded. That's why he says that, oh, like YouTube isn't even my job and I can upload every day. You know, what's your excuse, right? He's so embarrassed of being a YouTuber that he has to come up with some fake job, some bullshit job that he has. He doesn't have them. First of all, engineer isn't a bullshit job, but he's not even an engineer. So it is a bullshit job because he doesn't have one. He came out with the response and it's basically around the 3 to 4 minute mark. He throws in his apology, and I throw apology in quotations because it is not an apology at all. In fact, the way he says the apology is so backhanded and so unserious that at this point it shouldn't surprise me.
Start talking a little bit. I'm kind of addressing here really quickly. So obviously, I've been calling myself an engineer, in some cases a programmer, a cybersecurity engineer, whatever you call it. And I apparently have also been a dropout, which I don't hide. Now, obviously, me being a dropout, I don't agree. So I'm not a certified or licensed engineer. Now, a lot of videos in the past where I taught you guys about computer safety, cybersecurity, a lot of stuff. I think that content stands on its own. I believe it actually can be used. The people have learned from it. I think that's great. Now, if you feel offended, if you feel wrong, that I call myself an engineer while not being a degree engineer, then I do apologize.
Oh no, guys. Here come the excuses. Here comes the excuses.
I have been calling myself a engineer, in some cases a programmer, a cybersecurity engineer, whatever you can call it.
Can't even remember all the things he called himself, bro. All the shit that he made up. He can't even remember all of it.
You know, I apparently have also been a dropout, which...
What do you mean apparently are a dropout? You are a dropout. What do you mean?
I don't hide. Now, obviously, me being a dropout, I don't have a degree, so I'm not a certified or licensed engineer.
Yeah, you're not a licensed engineer. You're not an engineer at all.
I made a lot of videos in the past where I've taught you guys about computer safety, cybersecurity, a lot of this stuff, and I think that content stands up on its own. And I believe it actually can be used, you know, and people have learned from it. And I think...
No one cares.
Now, if you feel offended, if you feel wronged that I called myself an engineer while not being a degree-holding engineer, then...
You're not an engineer. Why do you keep putting caveats or adding words in front of it? I'm not a degree-holding engineer, which is kind of like, but I am an engineer, though. I just don't have a degree. No, you're not an engineer at all. And what is this about, if you're mad about it, I'm sorry you're mad about it? This is such backhanded behavior, okay? It's like, oh, I'm sorry that you got offended. Okay.
And for that, I do apologize. And I will denigrate myself to, you know, I guess programmer or fat Indian guy that knows a bit about computers. That's what I'll leave it at. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Now, again, if you want to stick around, awesome. If you still feel wronged and this does not suffice for you, then I don't really give a fuck.
You're a piece of shit.
Now, again, that being said, if anything else comes out...
Nobody cares. All right, let's move on. With everybody's videos coming out about Mudahar not taking accountability, about how he's lied about his career, and how he gets himself into trouble, it should be no surprise that he doesn't take accountability for this either. And what makes it worse is that at the end of it, he doesn't apologize for it. He says, oh, I'm sorry, and, you know, hang out if you want to. But if you don't want to, and if the apology isn't good enough for you, then fuck off. That's essentially what he says. I know he says, I don't give a shit. But yeah, so no accountability for the fact that he's a fraud. And I guess, at least for me, why I feel much more like annoyed at this and I'm coping and I'm seething is because this guy has basically been able to make a career off of being a liar. Like his whole presence is a fraud. Okay. And he had to throw in about how, oh, I put in some computer-related topical videos, so I technically did do some engineering stuff, so I wasn't completely lying. It's like, this guy cannot take full accountability at all, okay? 10 years, this guy was an authority figure. So basically, he could do no wrong and say no wrong. He was Mudahar, the engineer, the nerd, okay, that talked about tech, who talked about dramas and current events involving tech. And if you disagreed with him, then you were wrong. Okay.
But I'm an engineer. I know how this stuff is going, so I'm not even speaking out of pocket right here, okay? If you want to disagree with me, feel free, but you're actually wrong.
And who would challenge him on that? He sounded confident enough. He sounded correct enough. He sounded like he knew what he was talking about. You know, he knows that this damages his reputation. Okay. Of course it matters to him that he's an authoritative figure. That way no one would challenge him on it. Oh my gosh, this is the same guy who went after Pirate Software, bro. He went after Pirate Software. And he's even worse, dude. No. I just, no. And honestly, I get that people might be upset that Mudahar was like telling people, don't buy the Switch. And then what did he do? He bought the Switch, right? I get if you're mad. I get if you've been wanting it. Personally, I don't care about the Switch 2. I've never had a Switch. Okay, the last ever Nintendo console I ever had was the Wii. I don't really care. I get if you come from the perspective of, hey, like Nintendo is a shitty company and you shouldn't support them, and then he goes on his word and then he goes and buys one. I get that. But I mean, to be fair, like, did anyone really believe that people like Mudahar or gamers or whatever, consumers, wouldn't buy a Switch? Do you really believe that? I don't. If you talk about tech, if you talk about, you know, game consoles, if you're in that sphere, if you're in that world, I'm sorry, like, I don't believe you that you wouldn't buy a console. Like, I don't think anyone's that committed. I feel like people would do more to review a product than to boycott a product. I believe that more. I believe that people would buy a console like the Switch 2, review it, and then criticize the things he doesn't like about it, rather than him saying, I'm boycotting, I'm never buying one, you shouldn't either. I think that if he was trying to go for the angle of not caring and like, oh, this is beneath me, I don't give a fuck, I don't give a shit, like he says, he totally failed. Okay, let's be frank. Okay, stop lying, stop fronting. Okay, why is it that then that we have a record of you saying that, oh, this isn't even my full-time job. YouTube isn't a job to me. I have a 9 to 5. I have a 9 to 5 I go to, and I still make YouTube videos one a day. But then when this drama came out, Nick Andros made a video exposing Mudahar for not being an engineer. All of a sudden, he doesn't respond for like, what, almost a week? You're telling me that this guy is the humble bro, I don't care, the chill guy that doesn't care about anything or what anyone says? No, he absolutely cares what everybody says about him. I mean, hot take here, guys. I know it's pretty brave and astonishing and brave that I'm saying this, but yeah, I don't think that apology was sincere. I don't even think it was an apology. That wasn't even a half-assed apology. And no way could you ever categorize this as a sincere apology. He's just like, you looked behind the curtain, you got me, you know, and then he's like, anyways, it's like, no, you don't get to do that. You don't get to say, oh, I'm above dealing with this criticism. Bro, you suck, okay? I just hate people who are like, yeah, you found me out, but guess what? I don't care. Okay, buddy. You tried to avoid drama. You tried censoring the word engineer and then turned back when you realized people were figuring it out. Like, really? You expect me to believe you don't care? Really, bud? I don't think so, pal. You're not that guy, okay? You're not that guy.